Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. Set to return, here's Raheem Mostert. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And while he was at Eastern Illinois, he broke Tony Romo's school records for career passing yards and touchdowns before initially joining the league as the backup to Tom Brady as the second-round pick.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a handoff looking right. They find some open field here. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. And this is incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They run with Breida. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And on the ground they go with a running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the first round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. What I like most about him, his versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety and a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. But he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
To throw is Garoppolo. And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the 1st quarter. 0-0 our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And Gold is able to put it through, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
His athleticism in college was never in question. In fact, many NFL scouts thought he might be better suited to play receiver, but always believed in himself, always wanted to be a quarterback, and continues to prove his worth at that position in the NFL.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On the counter, this is high. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more.
That was was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
On third down, Taylor. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, the Browns hand things over to the veteran Britton Colquitt to punt. Taken in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. On first down, Garoppolo. Over the middle to Garcon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and it's 3rd and short. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Garoppolo, maybe a free play. A dump down to McKinnon.
Offside, defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. 29 yards. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type, because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. On first down, it's Taylor. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back, I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Taylor now throwing again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler, first-round pick back in 2012. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll give to Hyde. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Cleveland. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Garoppolo on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it, And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo powering his way forward. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff looking right. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Over to Landry on the bubble screen. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Handoff comes to Hyde. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here again is McKinnon. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go.
Garoppolo. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Goodwin. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now the Browns coming out on the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Off the play fake, here's Taylor. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and it's 3rd and short. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they had planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Taylor. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. They go play action here on first down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Emmanuel Agba in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. McKinnon. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Garoppolo now. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big time pressure.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. Now the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Now Taylor on first down. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Taylor operating from the gun. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. That'll bring up 2nd down. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Taylor. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing again, it's Taylor. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worried about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run high, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'll be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Here's Taylor, and that is incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Well, Garoppolo's going to throw it. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Garoppolo now, 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now McKinnon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They run it with McKinnon. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like open up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.